Hare Krishna. Magyantimirandasya Dhyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Maya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Today we will take a small session. Today I am going to attend Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj lecture. He is taking coincidentally second canto structural review. He already took 2 classes on it, each 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and he is taking the third one. So 3 sessions just to understand the structure. But I'll not take so long. I will take very briefly for you, maybe within half an hour I'll try to complete. And Sunday sessions on structural review I'll take elaborately everything Maharaj spoke, because this we have to cover purport, so I'll not be able to take much in this. But I'll definitely take a structural review. Now I have to go in some time, but I'll just give the structure what we understand from this 10th canto. It looks quite simple, but there is a great meaning behind it. I will take it maybe tomorrow. Some points I could not do from the 19th chapter, but still I'll take these points which are very helpful. This second canto, it's only 10 chapters. In the 10 chapters, you have first chapter is first step in God realization, the Lord in the heart. If you see the titles, pure devotional service, the change in heart, the process of creation, the cause of all causes, Purushukta confirmed, scheduled incarnations with specific functions, questions by King Parikshit, answers by citing the Lord's version. Bhagavatam is the answer of all questions. So this is, and we have this Chatushloki Bhagavatam in second canto, and we also have the 10 topics that are given in the whole Bhagavatam. So these are the 2 important things, and of course one important another important here is Brahma and Narada's conversation. So these are the 3 very important things to remember. Also the first and in the 4th chapter, the prayers of Sukadeva Goswami, and the first 2 chapters where Sukadeva Goswami is he is criticizing materialistic people and sannyasis both. So if you can remember, this is the way to some way you can remember. But very important is we cannot understand Shastra by logic. That is very important. If we are seeing logically, we say, okay, what is first canto? We have, okay, now you all know 19 chapters are there. Yes, we know the name of all the chapters, and we know each chapter what it speaks. First chapter is a question, second chapter is answers, third is also about the schedule incarnations which Lord appears. All the incarnations are mentioned, and the second chapter is telling the process of devotionals, is all the 13 steps of devotional service are given, and then third chapter is all the avatars are given. Then the last, when they told that, okay, Krishna appeared as Bhagavatam, then the 4th chapter starts. How did Bhagavatam appear? Who spoke? When it spoke? How did you write? What is the inspiration? Then starts Vyasdev and Narada Muni's. Vyasdev is despondent. Narada Muni appears. Narada Muni have conversation with him and the story of Narada Muni. And then you have then this will go till 4th, 5th, 6th, and the beginning of 7th chapter where Vyas Maharshi he starts writing. And then how it starts is, because now you have to tell about this Bhagavatam is between the 2 parties, 2 hearer and speaker, this Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, and to tell about Sukadeva Goswami, only 2 shlokas are told, because 2-3 shlokas, because maybe 4 shlokas, because first canto Bhagavatam is talking about Adhikara Tattva, who is qualified to hear Bhagavatam, because more important than speaker is a hearer. Why? Because the hearer will be a speaker for further. That's why hearer is the qualification. That's why whole from 7th to 19th chapter, the Parikshit Maharaj qualities, to explain Maharaj Parikshit, who is he, in which, what type of family is coming, all these things are explained. So Ashwatthama comes into picture because he try to kill Parikshit Maharaj in the womb, and then Uttara's, then Kunti Maharani prayers in air, Bhishma Deva's his prayers in the next chapter, and in between Yudhishthir Maharaj is very unhappy, and then Bhishma Dev pacifies him, and then 10th and 11th is Krishna leaving Hastinapur and entering to Dwarka. Then you have birth of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj appeared, but for him to become king, others should live. So first Dhritarashtra lives, 13th chapter. And 14th, 15th, then we have where Krishna lives, and then Pandavas lives timely, and then we have then how did Parikshit Maharaj he becomes the king, and how did he receive Kali, and how did he punish him, and then we have Parikshit Maharaj cursed and Sukadeva Goswami appeared. So logically it looks like, oh, we know all the first Canto, but that is a problem. The problem is that when you feel that we know, we'll never go back to read it again. That's why we have to see there is another structure that is given in the second Canto. The structure which Acharyas, if we make our structure, that is good only. That will help us get absorption in the knowledge that is given by Bhagavatam. Our making of structure, we have many devotees have different ways they structure Bhagavatam and they try to understand. But that is not exactly we can understand. It is only to get absorption. The real way, the real structure, because to make a structure, it should fit in a logical system. But Bhagavatam is not any linear logic. The logic is completely different. So it does not fit in our structure. It is not logical. Of course, we need Shastra Yukti. Shastra Yukti is to accept how Shastra is trying to tell us, not our way. It is not cause and effect, or if this is there, this is not there. It is not. Anyway, the point what we want to say is that here, of course, after such a very nice ecstatic session, I am taking you to a different mood of a technical section. I just wanted to give brief overview, one way of looking at it. But there is a very nice structure of second Canto, which is how we should look at second Canto. And also we should hear Bhagavatam again and again and again, because it is a sadhana. Then only we'll be able to understand what Bhagavatam exactly wanted to reveal to us, because Bhagavatam only can reveal to us. Bhagavatam we cannot understand. If we are studying Bhagavatam, that means if I am studying means I am looking down at something. But Bhagavatam is not an object of my study. Bhagavatam is my object of worship. I am serving Bhagavatam. I am not trying to study Bhagavatam. I am serving Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam will be pleased, and Bhagavatam will reveal to us. That's how the system is. We cannot look it down Bhagavatam. We should only serve Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam will be very pleased with us, and he will reveal. It's like that. If we say, oh, I studied means, then means you have looking down. It's not like that. That is the point. And here, if you see the first chapter, it's quite simple. If we go some simple logical way, you will see that, oh, this is only 10 chapters, and you can fit also. Because in the first chapter, in the fifth chapter, in the fifth and sixth chapter, and I think in the 10th chapter. So 4 times meditation on 4 times Virat Rupa is explained. You think one time is sufficient now? Why 4 times it should be told? We are all quite intelligent. We can understand if you tell 1 time, why you should tell 4 times. And now Parikshit Maharaj, he has only 7 days. And why to repeat the same subject 7 again and again if somebody has only 7 days to live? And also next Canto, if you say the creation is described 5 to 6 times, and you think, Arey Baba, I have only 7 days. Why don't you talk about some what to say, Raganuga Bhakti? Why I had to hear about? To come to the level of Raganuga Bhakti, we need to first practice this. We need to understand this first. Then we need to know what is the greatness of Lord, Aishwarya of the Lord. then only we'll be able to come to Raganuga platform. First, we should know greatness, and then comes sweetness. That is the reason. And now, if you take the essence of Bhagavatam, na, exactly, if you take the most corest part is 5 chapters of 10th canto Raspantyadhyay. That's all. But to understand that, they have to go through all these exercise. Some Bhagavad Katha Karsana, they skip some chapters. They just take here, there, here, there. That is not the way to understand only Bhagavatam. You can never understand like that. That is not possible. Because Sukadeva Goswami knows what exactly you need to hear. That's why he arranged the chapters in certain way. He wants us to hear in this particular way and go through the chapters, understand the chapters by the mercy of Bhagavatam only, and then slowly our misconceptions and wrong understandings of Bhagavatam will be gone. Then we'll be able to exactly understand the 10th canto, that to Raspantyadhyay, the smiling face of Krishna. Without that, if you skip some chapter here, some chapter there, some pastime here, some pastime there, it looks like we are understanding, but no. Sukadeva Goswami, he is giving this method. That is what his way of giving. Others could also spoken some Krishna Katha there, who are present at the assembly, who are there, the sages. They also know so many pastimes. There is Vyasadeva also, there is Nadamuni also, there is Parashar also. There are so many other great sages who are there. But why Sukadeva Goswami? Because he can present it in a very, very systematic way, which will ultimately lead to that realization of Krishna in that Madhurya Bhav. That is possible through Sukadeva Goswami. Sukhamukad Amrita Dravya Samyutam. And for us, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very important for understanding it. Because through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only we will be able to understand what is Bhagavatam. Yeah, isn't there any significance of today's Bhagavad Sapta? You can read Prabhupada's purport in the 19th chapter. What Prabhupada speaks of Bhagavad Saptas. Then it is helpful in getting absorption, but it is not in systematic understanding of Bhagavatam. You cannot understand. We need to get absorbed. Okay, you came to a dham and you are sitting and hearing 7 days. You get some absorption in Krishna because we have to get absorbed. But if you want that Bhagavatam should be revealed and we need to understand in that way, for that we have to read the way Bhagavatam is explained by Sukadeva Goswami. I'm not telling it is completely irrelevant. It helps. It just helps in absorption. But we need to, if we want to improve our understanding, improve our buddhi, and to get that realization of that level of realization, what Sukadeva Goswami want to explain, for that we need to go the way Sukadeva Goswami is teaching us. That is the point. I have to go very, very systematically, and in this is the way we need to understand it. It's clear? Any questions, comments on this? Okay. I think I should also take some feedback. How many of you are able to understand what we are discussing in the Prabhupada purports? Otherwise, I'm just speaking and I'm not getting any comments. And I I do my style anyway. But just you can share your comments that you're okay with the style and we are moving ahead the way we are going. Because this is very important that we go through somebody who could not complete Prabhupada purports. Now we want to facilitate them. That's why we are arranging this session, that parallelly they are able to go through Prabhupada purports, and I'm trying to add some points. And many of you met because you are in ISKCON for a long time, you heard so much of philosophy and all. Many of the points Prabhupada is repeating, but there are some very significant points Prabhupada is making that we wanted to make sure that you are attending. And second canto, I recommend that first and second chapters, third, fourth, some part of fourth chapter, very, very important that we understand the purports. The first, second, third are very, very nice purports Prabhupada gave. Because what after that, now some things Prabhupada you might have got repeated, but first few things we should very nicely hear. Anyway, any comments, questions till now? Okay. I will just say few more points. There are many things. The point I am telling is we have to go through what Sukadeva Goswami is giving, not the way we want. And also the points which this is very, very helpful for us to go through the way acharyas are giving, and that will make us, even though it is slow, but that is what we have to do whole life. You may think, array, it takes so much time, but this is what we need to do whole life. And even if you can, after 6 cantos, by God's mercy, we leave our body, and next life will continue from 7th chapter, because that realization of 6th chapter, now that will remain with us. That's not a problem only. Say I understood till 6th canto of Bhagavatam and I have realized it. Next life when I come, my realization of 6th till 6th canto will remain only with me. I can continue from 7th canto. So there is no less. So better go very, very organically, systematically, the way we Sukadeva Goswami is trying to guide us along with the commentaries of Acharyas. So that's the way to do it. That is my understanding. Okay, we have one comment. Yes, Shambhalima.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Prabhuji, realization means what, Prabhuji? I have read the first canto. So what realization means, please can you explain, Prabhuji?
Yeah. The way we are thinking, the way we are, the emotions and the realization. So our desires. So 3 things will change. That means you have realized. Like now, the way you are thinking will be changed after when you are looking at people, when you are looking at things, when you are seeing the incidents in your life. Then we compare. Oh, Draupadi had all 5 children killed, and but she is still having faith on Krishna. Now any bad thing happens, somebody insulted me and I became very embarrassed, or some very, very big tragedy happened in my life, still I can continue having faith on Krishna, because that's what I learned from Draupadi, and that's what I am learning from Kunti, and that's what I can learn. So every personality in Bhagavatam, they are teaching something, and now what happened is your thought process changed. That means you have realized something. The way you are living is, the way you are thinking is no more. And then the second thing is the emotional part also. Now the emotions which we have, that also need to be changed. Slowly by hearing Bhagavatam, our emotional part, we were some other, we had certain way of feelings. Now the feelings also changes. That is little more difficult, but that is very, very helpful, and that happens also slowly. Now say if somebody comes and they dealt in a particular way, but in the same situation 1 year before starting Bhagavatam, you could have dealt differently. Now you are dealing in a different way. That means you have realized means what? There is a change in heart. Change in heart means change in thinking, change in feeling, change in willing is most difficult. The desires don't change so fast, but still at least we can work on our thinking and feeling levels. Emotional part, if somebody can control, that means previously I used to cry for everything. Now I don't cry means internally crying. That means we stop crying now, because we know there's no point in crying this world. We just have to act and accept things how they are coming in my life. I should accept people, I should accept Krishna's will, I should accept the situations. Instead of crying, let me do what is best possible in this situation. So when we are able to do all these things, that means this is what is the realization you have. Yeah, thinking, feeling will change. Thinking and emotions change. Willing is not going to change so easily. That is true. The desires don't change so easily, but it takes time. So this is the, now if you have changed, that means you have realized. Now you are not the same person what you are. And the way you accept Krishna's will, that is the greatest change. Where we can accept, we will not change our will, but at least we start accepting Krishna's will. And one good thing is, now every time only Krishna's will only happen. Even you like also, you don't like also, then what is the point? Better like it and move ahead. Instead of grudgingly accepting Krishna's will, let us accept it good way. If we get this realization, this is the very, very good realization, that anything that is happening, it is according to Krishna only. And if this realization we get, yes, then our heart has changed so much. So this is the 3rd chapter in the change of heart. Yes, Mataji, is this clear?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Now, Prabhuji, one related question first, then I will ask my question. So, thinking, feeling, willing. So, the changes that happen at thinking level is the most shallow. Then deeper means feeling and willing. Is it right, Prabhu?
Willing is the highest. Thinking is not shallow, but we can say it is the beginning. And then next level is our emotions. We will work on our emotional level. We are able to handle our emotions. And the last one is the desires part. Like
Okay. Prabhuji, so that means this is some kind of a checklist for me, whether I am changing at the thinking level or feeling level or willing level like that. I have to get it in myself.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, is there any other way also like a checklist I can go on ticking, okay, this realization has come, that realization like that?
Tushti Sutapa, no, this shloka says that when we are now another checklist we have is how much I am interested in hearing the mundane news, how much I am interested in hearing about Krishna, how much I am hearing the praise about or insults of other people, and I am feeling pleasure in seeing the negative of people others. So this is also another checklist which will immediately tell how much I am envious, how much I am greedy, how much I am and slowly, by regularly getting observed in Bhagavatam, our thoughts don't go in the direction. If somebody is coming and criticizing, we will feel so bad. Our ears, they starts repelling. It's like Karela juice only. We will run away because we will never like such things after hearing Bhagavatam. We heard in morning Bhagavatam. Now at 10 o'clock, somebody comes and says, this devotee, this is a devotee. Then I say, forget about it. I just heard Bhagavatam. Let me just have such a wonderful session of Bhagavatam I had. I don't want to hear any of the nonsense. If we are getting that feeling, that means you can say checklist your checklist.
I think that is so beautiful, Prabhuji. So actually, yes. So to the extent that my taste for the scripture is increasing, my taste for mundane things will decrease. So that's that is something I can apply all the time in my life. Thank you. Yeah. And then, Prabhu, coming to my question, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. There is the Shloka translation and Srila Prabhupada's purports. So when I have finished one round of Srimad Bhagavatam, obviously because of the purports, it's going to take me a long time. So, and you said, okay, Sukadeva Goswami has a particular plan and a structure. So you have to follow that. So if I want to do a second reading also, I should go from 1, 2, 3, 4 only, and I should not jump somewhere in the middle. Is it right, Prabhu?
And now you can skip purports wherever you feel that what Prabhupada might have commented on this verse, that you can do. Otherwise, you can just go on with the translations and try to understand. We can go shloka and translation. And when you feel that, oh, this Prabhupada, I want to hear what Prabhupada might have commented on this, what Vishnu Chakravarti commented on this. Otherwise, you will, by reading again and again, Bhagavatam is called sadhana. Why it is repeated? Because it's a sadhana. Sadhanas we have to do again and again and again. And Bhagavatam will, every time it will reveal you a newer and newer things like that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So if I read one translation of Sukadeva Goswami's, then should I meditate on that before going to the next shloka? Each shloka I should dwell for some time, or I can just go on reading?
Like if you are able to understand, because sometimes it is in plain English and we can understand. Maybe some shlokas where you feel that this is something very deeper, you can meditate on it. Or some, like when some shlokas, there will be actually, if you possible for you to attend Sunday 9 to 10, I am taking class where at least first 3 sessions, if possible, you can attend, because I am going to explain the languages of Bhagavatam and the Vrittis of Bhagavatam. Maybe that will help you to understand, because Sukadeva Goswami speaks in 3 languages and he has Vrittis, 4 types of Vrittis. So maybe if you get time, if you attend, or I will send you personally the recordings of that, then you will be able to, when you are reading Bhagavatam, you will understand what is happening exactly. Like.
Oh, wonderful, Prabhuji. So we can join live?
Yes, Prabhu. It's 9 to 10 on every Sunday. I will add you in that group.
Oh, wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I feel really inspired. So I can go on reading Srimad Bhagavatam regularly. Where I want to read the purport, I can read the purport. Where I feel still some clarity is needed, I can meditate on that a little more. and then I go on reading Srimad Bhagavatam. That's
and you need to know what language Bhagavatam is speaking and where Sukadeva Goswami is speaking what, because
yes.
that will also make you where to meditate.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. I'll certainly join this class on Sunday. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you all very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One more doubt, Prabhuji, not today's class, but previously in the first canto we studied and somebody asked me this question. So you please clarify me so that I can answer them. The first question is that from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu's navel, this lotus flower is coming, and what is the significance of lotus? They were asking me. Why lotus? Always this lotus comparison is made, lotus feet, lotus eyes, like that. What is the significance of lotus? And the second question is that in the Yuga Avatar, Krishna comes in white, red, black, and yellow color. And Prabhupada gives the explanation. Krishna comes in black and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in yellow color. And they were asking me what is how Lord came as white color and red color. Can you please explain that, Prabhuji?
This white is Hamsa, and then second red is Yajna. These are the two that is mentioned. And
white is Hamsa, Prabhuji.
Hamsa. And why lotus? Because that is the most beautiful of all the objects that we can see in this material creation. And it is anything we want to compare, now we have to see the most beautiful object present. Lotus is something which is most beautiful and pleasing. And that's why if you see Gopi Gitam also, so many times this word lotus comes. And anything that is compared, that is the nearest object we can imagine that Lord. And that's why the lotus is always given. It is the most beautiful. And the god, the devatas also may choose to have that as their. Brahma is choosing lotus flower. Lord, lotus is appearing from Lord's level. Lord's level is lotus, because that is the most beautiful object. That's what I.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I'm going to here. So please bless me and pray for me. I'll understand the session nicely. Maharaj is. I can give the recording, but it is in Russian. You will not be able to understand. So I'll hear and then I'll come and repeat for you in next 2-3 sessions. Oh, this is a structural review of second canto. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tarantra Srimad